This stuff's kind of the legal mumbo jumbo, but page 6 just says, hey, you're going to attend the meeting, which you are right now. We'll do a mid-season meeting, but it'll be a conference call or a online deal where I'll just have you guys go online. I'll probably put some clips up online and have you guys take a look at them. And then at the end of the year, we'll work to get together and kind of review. If you got any conflicts with any officials that you don't want to evaluate, just let me know. There's a form on the back, the last page, just included in there. During the season, so I'll make sure you get instructions, but you'll go through the assigners for the availability. They're going to send you a. You probably already have Arbiter. You already have Arbiter account, so you're going to get us another welcome letter. That's going to say join and provide availability for the PNBOA. Right. So you're going to have to keep that up to date on what, so you can block those days that you're not available. Right. And let us, or call Leslie, just call the assigner. You can call Lindsay and say, hey, John, here are the dates I'm available to work. Right. And he's more of a pen and paper guy, anyway, right? but you're going to get something from Arbiter Sports, Eric. That's going to you're going to need to go on there and put in your information. That's going to how you're going to be paid. And it'll give you a place to block out dates, just so they don't try to assign you games. Right. They're going to go off that to assign it. Notify. Let the assigner know if you get a game, and because we had it last year when we go through the review of last year, where somebody didn't let the assigner know that they weren't able to make it, and the assigner didn't know it, so they thought the person got their evaluations, and it just kind of screwed up the whole deal. So if you can't make something, someone comes up, hey, we're okay with that. Just let the assigner know. Let Lindsay on the boys' side, Leslie on the girls' side know that, hey, you're going to make it. I want you there to see the officials get on the floor. So if you get there 30 minutes early, great. Be there 15 minutes for sure.
What are they doing for start times nowadays?
Typically like up 7:30. 7:30. Yeah.
7 or 7:30.
Friday night 6, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. Either way, yeah. I'm just asking because I'm looking at this. Some of this stuff is like changed a whole lot since I last did high school. Going, really?
Yeah. We'll go over the form. I got the form here. We'll go to discuss the form. So the thing that's not as user-friendly for us is we're using Arbiter to keep track of our availability, but we use Stripe Zone, which is another site to put in the scores. So you will get clear directions via email saying, hey, you need to go to Stripe Zone. When you're ready to put your scores in, you're going to have a copy. These forms are three copy forms. Okay. But you will have to go to the site, the Stripe Zone site, to put in your scores, and you will get that information how to do that prior to your first game. Yeah, the rest just we'll go over the form, and then of course just the details, juicy details. It's $45 for a game. Boys and girls pay the same. And they both pay if you do go to a gym that's 20 miles from your address that's on Arbiter, you're gonna get an extra $18. So
everything's 20 minutes from 20 miles from my
house. Yeah, right there. So yeah.
It's the homish.
Yep. Yeah, and then on the women's side, you get $25 for doing half the JV game. You do women's games. So just keep that in mind. The boys' side, they're not doing that yet. We still fully the varsity refs do all the observation. So, all right, let's move on. So you guys were observers last year. Okay. So this review obviously is not for you, but it's good information to have. Kind of see what was good and what was not so good with our program last year. We were able to get everybody's observations done, which was good. All the forms. You guys are going to end up sending your forms, a copy of your forms to me, like every about 2-3 weeks.
Hard copy?
Yeah. So,
So you go
I
to
don't want to jump
scrap
around too
zone?
much, but you have, this is going to be a 3-copy deal. All right, I'll send you home with an example so you can see what you all right, but the top copy is going to go to the official with no score on it. Okay, they're just going to have all the notes, and they're going to have some scoring range in them. It's in, I got a slide here, so we'll go over it. But just the middle copy is going to be sent to me. The bottom copy you're going to keep for your records. End of the year, after you get paid, shred them. But hold on to them, just make sure we got verification. All right, we'll hit on that a little bit more here shortly. You know, we had some good examples last year of the new training that we're given. The reliability of our evaluators were excellent. Only had a couple incidents, and those folks aren't around anymore. And post games have been professional. Good feedback from the membership on the post games, 98% of the time. So there were some in my report that I gave to the 2 chairs last year. After last year, it's still, you know, just like there's no two. You guys aren't going to observe the same way, just like the referees aren't going to observe the way. And, you know, so everybody wants perfect, consistent. Well, it's not going to be consistent. What you see as an official referee, you may see a little different. You're going to find different things, right? No big deal. Most evaluators, we had good, unbiased, detailed, positive, and constructive feedback night in, night out. But there's still perception that some of our observers were just in the gym, took a couple notes, closed the book, watched the game, went in and said a couple things, out of there, ching-ching. And that's what we're trying to get off. We really want to, I mean, we really want to provide some really good feedback to these folks, positive and constructive. Here are some examples of what we had. And I actually have a few slides of some forms from last year that were turned in. But here, we'll start with. So evaluators sending in, or going in, and they got 0 or 1 constructive comment on evaluation sheet. And this is every consistent. I mean, every night in, night out, they can't find more than 1 thing for somebody to work on. It really doesn't give an official a sense of, you know, what they got to do. I mean, there's going to be guys that have good games, and you're going to have all positive stuff, and there's not much that they're not doing wrong, and that's, I get it. But if it's not 100% of our officials are like that, and we've had some evaluators that can't find more than 1 thing, and we're just trying to give them some more information to be able to come up with some stuff to give the refs. You know, we really want to get observers in the habit of time stamping plays. You know, on your notes. Hey, at 1:43 of the second quarter, if you had video, take a look at this play. A lot of our officials now are getting the videos of their games, and they're gonna see them. And if you can come up with, if you find a few plays that they're gonna think, yeah, it was one. They're gonna at least know that you're paying attention for to the game, right? And you can call out a particular play, and just in case they might have been wondering, or somebody on the crew might have been wondering, yeah, that was a tough play. And so let's give them certain points of reference that they can go back on when they are reflecting on their game. We have this. So our last year's form, so you guys didn't do it last year, but we had all these different boxes. You had like 48 categories. You had to check superior, needs improvement, or average, and basically what we had is we had evaluators that were checking the superior box 100% of the time, but the official never got an excellent score. I'll show you an example of that on a slide. It was, or we got a score of 85, and there's no comments on it. That's a little tough for an official to take. 2 to 3 positive comments per sheet with scores less than a 90. Yet the same observer had a 96 on official. They had a crew, right? Same game, and there was 4 or 5 constructive, good little things worthy of a 96, right? But their 2 partners of this person had no little notes on it, and they scored less than 90. So when they all, because we know the officials will get together when they get there. Well, what'd you get from Eric? Oh, I got a 96. Well, he didn't write anything on me. He gave me a 90. You know, and they're like going, whoa, right? So that's when I start getting emails. We got to make sure we're checking the boxes. When we go over this, we'll talk about it. We had an evaluator that scored a 92, which is above average range. Here, let me just give you a copy here. But he checked the excellent box. So the referee was wondering, okay, on 92, am I 92 or am I excellent? So we got to make sure when we're filling these out that we, we write the proper score in here. And again, we'll hit this form here shortly. The one that bugs me is the evaluator writes the same comments on all the officials working the game, right? Same thing. 4 or 5 comments, all the same. One guy gets a 98, the other 2 guys get 88 and 89. I actually happened to be at the game, that this particular thing, and no one was better than the other. No official. It was a 50-point blowout, and all 3 officials worked just as hard as the other one. The discrepancy was tough it was tough for the guys that got the lower score. We want to stay away from misleading comments that's not being trained. And we'll go over a few training clips tonight. The comments like call more fouls. Tell somebody to call more fouls. If you're going to do that, if they're not blowing their whistle in the games, give them some examples at least. Say, note some timestamp some plays that, hey, here's a couple plays that you need to call more fouls. Tell an official that block charge plays do not require a patient whistle. The way we're teaching officials now, everything requires a patient whistle. Off-ball calls, we tell them off-ball calls, you can be quick. Legal screens, if you're calling a legal screen, you're calling. But all plays to the hole, block charge plays, we want them to see the whole play before they blow their whistle and make the decision. It also helps us on block charge plays in particular from having a blarge if we're a little more patient with that. And then we had an observer tell crew, don't rotate the ball side when there's no post. That was old school. New school, and we'll talk about it, is we're getting the ball side all the time. We want to stay away from this. Scoring officials in the excellent range 100% of the times. And then we had an evaluator, it's not with us anymore, but every official they saw was excellent. Always 3 to 5 positive comments and no constructive comments the whole time. We kind of hit on that earlier. So yeah, hey, boosted the ego of every official they saw. They probably all want to, but when it comes down to all the interpolation, if you're giving everybody a 98, 99, it ain't going to help them in the long run, because the interpolation, when they do all the averages of all the observers, is going to take their score down. So I think we had observers that just didn't want to, was just too afraid to tell the people, didn't want to tell anybody anything negative. And then we want to stay away from just, the same comments on everybody's sheet. We don't want them to come in and know that Jeff, I know Jeff's going to say this, this, and this. And then after the game, Jeff says this, this, and this. Right?
You're talking about the hand checks?
Yeah. There's guys that always throw out the hand checks. So here's a few examples of some forms. I blacked out the names, so you might have seen this. This is actually a positive one. Lots of good little comments here, just throughout the deal. They even charted the fouls for the crew from what position on the floor. That's not required, but that was a good little extra deal for them. And as you can see, this form from last year, all these little boxes were irritants, and we got rid of that, right? So that's a good example. Good example here. We got 10, 11. And all good, constructive. And we still have on this form we have the diagram, so if you need to use a diagram, or you can just take notes on it, good there. A few not so good. This had some good comments, but again, given some bad feedback, I circled. They're saying as lead on a fast break, let it get ahead of you, then slide into the position. That's 2-man. That's how we used to do in 2-man. Okay, now we have a center official that's going to have that slide in look all the time. The lead needs to go all the way, at least with them, or all the way to the baseline. All right, now we get into the comments are in the first two trails with 15 seconds, whatever. Okay, so there's 2 trails. All right, nice whistle tempo. Great secondary defender calls tonight. Nice job. doubling, but if it's your primary, take a call. It's a pretty good game by that person. They weren't very happy to get an 89.
Ouch.
So, you know, that one probably didn't make sense to that official. That's actually not faded. There is no writing. They just checked all the boxes, gave him an 85. That guy already's not with us anymore, but that, you know, it's hard to explain to the official. So these next three are the same game. First up, good understanding of how and judgment. All right, excellent half, job, whistle, blah, blah, blah. Good chemistry. Okay? That's the referee. Here's the U1. Here's the U2. So he wrote writing the same thing, the exact same thing.
They're all pointed to be.
All three. They actually had 3 different scores, but that's going to get recognized as someone just kind of mailing in their deal. So, and not providing what we're looking for. And then when we talk about the boxes. We do allow you to check two boxes. You can either check if you're not sure when you give them the sheet, you're going to have. Well, we'll get there in a second. But anyways, here's what I'm talking about. The official got their sheet with a box that said they're going to be in the excellent range. They're not going to know their score until the end of the year, but they at least will have an idea where their score is. Right? That's what we do for them. So in last year's form, he was given an excellent, but his score was a 92. So the official now appeals, and we can't. What do I do? I mean, is he a 92 or is he excellent? Well, I'm sure the official. I went back and did some research, and the observer in all of his forms always checked 2 boxes. He just forgot to check 2 boxes, and this one, then that subsequently provides some confusion to that official. So
now you don't have that box on this one.
we don't have the total score box there. So
You got a total score box, but you don't have the
But we don't-
excellent, above
yes,
average.
correct. We'll get to that here in just
All
one
right.
second. Same thing happened there. And okay, let's just get on to the form here. Accountability. So we did have a couple situations. Someone didn't make a scheduled assignment and never called. So just make sure you got, like I said, call if you're going to miss an assignment. We don't want you entering the locker room prior to the game. If you're walking into the gym and they're out, or if you're all set up and they're down there, they're just coming out, or you see them on the way to the court, you can shake their hand, say, how you doing? Good to see you. See you after the game. But don't go in before the game, don't go in at halftime. Make sure you check the scoring range box when you give the evaluation to the official. We'll go through that here in a minute. Make sure you place a score within the scoring range, the box that you checked. Not completing game information. Make sure complete all the stuff on top of the form that we'll go through here. Make sure we enter our scores in the strike zone. And submit a copy to me in a timely fashion. And then this one is for the officials. I know there was a board meeting or committee meeting or board meeting actually the other night where I've recommended some penalties for the officials. If an official ever calls you, first of all, likely not going to have your number, but somebody might have your number. But if an official calls you regarding your score, I need to know about it. They should not be saying, hey, Jeff, I want to talk to you about that. You gave me an above average thing, and I just was curious of what I need to do to. No. You gave them the feedback. You already gave them feedback, and we had it last year where somebody called an observer, and the observer wasn't real comfortable with it. So make sure you let me know. All the unprofessional behavior if there's any unprofessional behavior in the locker room after the game, when you're giving their feedback, let me know. And if it's just minor stuff, I still want to know. We'll deal with it on a case-by-case basis. I just don't want if the same guys giving different observers, tough time. The yeah but guy. I want to know. There might be isolated cases where you might get a guy that's had a bad night and he doesn't want to. Whatever. Just. Let me know, and if his name keeps showing up, then we're going to have a discussion about it with the committee. All right, here's the form.
So let me back up a little bit
Yeah.
to that accountability.
Yeah,
I know it's probably gonna be the exception, not the rule, but you go in, whether it's a JV official girls game or a varsity official boys or girls, and somebody just doesn't care, you know?
oh yeah.
You know, I'm never gonna move up, you know, your observation system's bullshit, I don't care about it.
Can I just get in the shower?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
whatever.
I guess
I
for
heard
me,
you.
it's not personal, I mean, I
Yeah.
get paid to be there,
Yeah.
and whether they want it or not, so
Yeah, that's a
it
good point.
it doesn't affect the score per se.
Right.
Right, are we,
Yeah, no. in fact-
because we're evaluating the game.
Yeah, yep, no, just, I would say on that situation, if you got somebody that doesn't wanna listen to you,
Here you go, and
just say, hey, you know, here, yeah, just take it, and shoot me a note and say, hey, this happened,
right,
and, you know, we can't, we want them to be receptive to feedback, but I know not 100% of folks really care, you know, there's a lot of people that do, and a lot of people that don't care, and we really wanna make sure we help the people that do care.
right.
So, yeah, I think you hit it on the head. Just say, if they don't spend time with them if they don't want it. Move to somebody that wants to spend the time.
Are you gonna send us maybe your slide here?
Oh yeah, you're gonna get all this. I'm gonna email you this whole presentation just so you. Mitch, you don't have a laser pointer, do you?
I don't, sorry.
So just make sure you got your name, the official's name, home visitor, the date. Whether it's a PNBOA or an SOWB game, obviously varsity or JV. So we cut it down to 6 different categories with each one has a little different weight. We got appearance and fitness, which is the lowest category. And then we got game management, and I'm not gonna go through all this because we're gonna go through some of it in the training, but get yourself familiar with each category. Court positioning, we feel, I feel court positioning is very important. You wanna make sure if they're in the right place, most of the time they're gonna get calls right. All right, so we got rules and mechanics. They got another rules and mechanics, right? And then we got call selection, which is the biggest point. Obviously, you know, a lot of people aren't comfortable. A lot of evaluators in the past have not been comfortable, you know, talking about judgment. Well, getting the calls right is what the game's all about, right? So we do need to make sure, and it is subjective, and we get it, right? I mean, I get it. So you don't get a chance to watch a replay of a game like somebody if they're watching on TV, right? So we're going to give the officials the benefit of the doubt on 50-50 plays. But if there's obvious ones that anybody in the gym could have called, or you know, you see, we want to note it. We want to note it and make sure that, you know, they're aware of what plays. And if they have a consistent pattern of it, then we just got to score it appropriately. You guys know what a good call is and a call that's not right for the game.
It's a call.
And some have more weight than others.
Yeah.
Some have more weight. There's definitely more weight than others. A guy can miss a slap on the wrist in the first quarter that has nothing to do with it. And that same slap on the wrist in the fourth quarter when it's a tie game, they have to go right in front of them, or maybe they're out of position. Probably gonna have a little more weight in communication. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go in. You got plenty of room for notes, and don't just disregard the dark line here. Don't feel that this is saved for comments from these categories. Just use it as you want, right? You can either use the diagram or write over the diagram. That's why we kind of kept it faded, just so if you didn't have anything to draw up, just write over it. Just be able to make sure we have enough room, plenty of room to note comments. Again, positive and constructive. But once you're wrapped up in the game, you are going to have to go through and check a scoring range box. Now, you can use it, you can do it judiciously, but if you think there's somebody on a bubble and you're not quite sure, because there's not a lot of time, right? You're going to have to get into the locker room and get that out of the way. Then you can go home at some point and figure out, okay, here's the numbers, okay? You can check 2 boxes. You can check excellent and average. What we do ask is that if you're going to check 2 boxes, then they're probably not going to, if you're going to check excellent and average because you think they're right, or above average because they're right in between, you're probably not going to go back in and score 20 because that's not really on the bubble. You might not probably go in and get a 16. Now, can you? Yes, but you get, it kind of gives more validation to, you know, if you're in the 17 and 19 range, if you were to do that. Just want to make sure you guys are covered. Don't want you to give them, check a box, and then you get home, you're doing the, you're tallying it up, and you're going, you know what, that guy was better than, that guy wasn't that bad on the rules. Why did I give him an average? Well, I can't give him a 9 or 10 now because I checked the box, right?
And he's got his copy.
He's got his copy. And believe me, they're not going to call me if you go higher than what you checked, but I will get a call if you go lower than what you checked. So don't use it as a crutch, but it's there for you to do, right? You follow me? And then, so they're not going to have any scores. They're only going to get check boxes, so they're going to have an idea what their range is going to be. And then when you get home, sometime after, when you go and put the scores in the strike zone, you're going to write in the score and the total, and go from there. Now, we're hoping this is a little easier than last year's form. I know it's still a lot of numbers that you got to add up. Got to be careful when we're adding them up, make sure you write the right number down. I don't think we've made a decision yet on what's it going to be if you write 94 in here, but everything adds up to 95, right? We haven't figured that one out yet. That's still on the agenda. We'll have that worked out, but we checking our math would be great too. So that's the form. You guys got any questions on that?
Well, how would you know? Because there's still a range in between most of those numbers.
What's that?
So you put a 94 in the bottom, how would you know the score's wrong? Because there's a range between some of those numbers.
I'm just saying, 94, but you end up submitting something, you know, 6 numbers that added up to 95.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see that.
Because you just miss add.
I see that gray area is where you put the
gray area is where you're going to put the individual box scores, and then the bottom.
I was looking at the numbers, I didn't see the little gray area.
Ah, yeah, gotcha. So that's our new form. And again, you'll get a copy sent, a bunch sent to you prior to the season. Again, there'll be 3 copies. Let's get through the training part of it. Obviously, pregame duties. And again, I'm going to send you this PowerPoint for review when you need to, but when I'm out on the floor, 15-minute mark. Referee checks the book by the 10-minute marks. Captain's meeting professional. Captain meeting usually is about the 12-minute mark, but if they want to walk onto the floor and go and get captains, we're good, right? I'd rather them get to the book earlier so they're not going to the book at the 10-minute mark in these gyms, Garfield, that, you know, no one's even at the table at the 10-minute mark. And, you know, so we're not, right, we're going to be smart on that situation. Greeting the coaches. I always say we want to train them now on greeting the coaches. Just make sure you spend the same amount of time as one coach as you do the other coach. Don't like putting the arm around the coach. Discourage that, okay? Especially, you know, if somebody's working with a young official, you're the veteran. How does it make the young official feel when the veteran's over there going, oh yeah, now the young guy's going, oh, I'm screwed, right? So yeah, make it brief, professional. They do, at the high schools, they do need to make sure that, especially if there's any questions on where the coaching box is, they're going to have to give them that. They do have to make sure that all the players are dressed properly, wearing the proper uniform. So it's not as brief as I'd like it to be, but those are things that they have to do.
No, wait a minute, go back to that. They have to make sure that the players are wearing the proper uniform before they come to the game?
No.
Before they come in the game or before the game?
It's the coach's responsibility to make sure everybody's got is wearing proper uniform.
Well,
If they're properly equipped.
Properly equipped,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we appearance and fitness, you know, we want to project confidence without arrogance. You wear the proper uniform, obviously we're black and white stripes, right? There's no gray anymore.
Sometimes they'll wear gray if it's a stat game or something like that. They have the option.
Yeah, the option. Okay. As long as they gotta wear the same. They all gotta wear the same, all right?
Right.
Good physical condition, well groomed.
And the black and white trumps the gray though, right? If something happens.
Yeah, black and white's the standard. Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody
But you said something about gray if it's a what kind of game?
Oh, sometimes they'll have stat games where there'd be the same crew will work a varsity girls game and then a varsity boys game.
And the girls wear the gray?
I think they'll do, yeah, it depends, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just sometimes if they just don't want to wear the same shirt or
Yeah.
don't have two of them ready to go.
And it's their choice.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Uniform, clean and pressed, hair facial hair professional, shoes shine, all the stuff that makes you look good. All right, so let's get in the court position, all right? We all recognize ball watcher. I've got some clips attached to these. We're gonna focus on the trail here. Put this thing down.
Like Mike Lloyd.
There you go.
Huh?
That's
That
fine.
works.
Oh, is it going more?
No, just that one went off and that made the whole difference.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so the trail, so focus on the trail here and watch his head, and you can just tell. If you see this in a game, you know. All right, so now the ball's in his area, so he's on the ball. Looking at the offense, he's on the ball, which is fine. Now the ball's passed over to the trail side, and he's still on the ball. You can tell by his head he's still on the ball, right? Now the ball's passed across, he's still looking at the ball as he's walking down, right? I mean, he might be looking at the elbow, which is where we really want him to look in there. But he spent a lot of time on the ball. He's still kind of looking at the ball, although this was a defender. Anyways, point is, all right, you can tell by a person's head, and the other part of that deal was, look where the lead is right now.
Okay.
The lead's rotated. You can always tell a guy's watching the ball if he misses a rotation.
He's got that competitive matchup right there, he's not even looking at it.
Yeah, and he never realized, it took him a long time to realize it because he's watching the ball. So, all right, demonstrates mobility, proper position to see play. We, obviously want him in the right position. Properly initiates rotations. Properly responds to rotations. I got it here. All right, so I just pulled out a clip, a game of a couple guys, one guy for sure, a center that does it pretty well here. He's always open, his shoulders are open to the floor as a C. Trails 2 and 2 behind the play with the ball. So here's the first one. A lot of times our officials, the ball comes to their side as a C. The lead's making their proper rotation to get the ball side. This official does a good job of staying put and refereeing this play. What some officials will do is they'll think, okay, I'm the trail now, and they'll walk behind this play when there's a competitive matchup. We want to make sure that we address that. We want to get rid of that habit from all our officials. Stay there and referee the play. Okay, now when the pass goes out, he hustles out, get on top. We want our trail to move onto the floor and stay connected to the play until the center picks it up. So that ball's going away from him, he's still on it, but the center is now just picking it up, so that's acceptable. As soon as the center picks it up, starts to count, and he kind of misses the rotation, doesn't get down as a C. Now he finally realizes he's a C. Oops. Yeah, it happens. Coming up the floor as you see in transition, that you saw. That was just, let me see if I got anything else.
Well, it stopped him from getting straight line too, so that was good.
Yes. All right, so that's pretty good center work.
Yeah, that was real good.
All right, to the next one. Position adjust obviously is big. We want, if our officials, if you see them, notice them in their stack look, and then we want them to position adjust, get an open look. So we'll get more into specifics on different positions on the floor. Right here, we're going to training now is get ball side and mirroring the ball. So if this is the screen is the paint area, And Eric, you're up top with the ball. I'm refereeing my guy. I'm gonna be here. You kick it out to the wing. I'm gonna widen out and mirror the ball. I'm gonna be as far out as the ball is, out to the 3-point line. Okay? And this is boys. And the girls' high school mechanics are the same as the boys are they not?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not gonna go outside the 3-point line, but I'm gonna get this wide as 3-point line where the ball is. Now the ball gets kicked back up top, and I'm gonna go ahead and, so refereeing the same thing, but I'm closing down to the lane line. Okay.
Okay, only to the 3-point line. What if the ball's in that corner? You just opening your shoulders?
It's a trail.
Yep. It's a trail's
It's a
responsibility,
trail's ball.
but it's now considered a 2-referee play. We're teaching it as a 2-referee play because obviously, you know, if there's
Come baseline.
sometimes he goes baseline,
Yeah.
that trail's not going to see the baseline. If there's a trap in the corner or a guy running out and he's going, if you're the trail
Right.
and I'm a lefty and a guy's running out at me
Right.
and hits me here, you might not see, right? So
So he's just opening up then.
he will open up.
Don't go outside of 3, but opens up.
And if there's a play that he needs to assist on, it's not his primary, it's always going to be the trail's primary,
Right.
he needs to assist, he needs to open up and referee the play. Which means he's leaving that, which means if that happens, if crew's on the same page, the center's going to know that he's leaving that, and it's going to have his eyes somewhere in here, right? So basically, ball side, always mirroring the ball, is where their position should be.
Especially that leads that crash after the shot that you tend to miss a lot because we're watching the ball.
Right.
The player goes into the bleachers and nobody knows why.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good for that lead to help out with that.
Yep. Working outside in is the terminology we're using. And that's, we don't want them opening up their shoulders, reffing like this, and, you know, reffing here. We want them on the outside, facing in. So wherever we're at, we don't have open shoulders. We've got like a 90-degree angle on that. Okay, we always want them to get the ball side. Doesn't matter if there's post or not. But we got 3. This is like our 4th year now where we've used this terminology. The only exceptions that you don't go to ball side is, so the ball gets kicked over to Sheldon's side. I'm going to start rotating unless he pulls up to shoot. Once he pulls up to shoot, I'm not going. If he starts his drive to the basket, I'm not going. And of course, if he swings it past back over to you, I'm not going. Okay? We want our officials to not, because if I go and you shoot, now everybody's in a messed up spot. Right? So we want our officials to back out of a rotation if they start one, because sometimes you won't be sure. You're going, okay, he's got the ball, he kind of hesitates, okay, I got to go. Well, now he shoots or now he drives. Stop, rotate back, referee. Or you might have to pinch down if there's a drive to the basket to get a good look, right? But stop your rotation, we want him to back out. We don't want him rotating during a shot or a dribble drive. I got a couple examples here.
And hopefully they cover that in their pregame.
Absolutely, they should. Roll this up a little bit. We'll watch the lead.
TCC?
Okay. Lead, good rotation. Kicks it back. Now she's going to have to go back. She does. Well,
Stacy?
there's a quick shot, right? She's halfway there. But you know what? Her best opportunity is just back out. She's still refereeing. We see where her eyes are. She can ref that. She can ref this from anywhere. But now we don't have to worry about our outside officials being out of position. So she stops on the shot and backs out. That's a good example of how to do that.
So question for you, Mark.
Yeah.
I know in college, we're allowed to be in the paint under the basket. Are we allowing that in high school, like on the drive? Or?
Well, in college, we're not. I don't know, at any level you really want to be in the paint. I think there's going to be certain times where you're going to pinch the paint on a drive or something where you might be here and take a step down in here just to, you know, to get a good angle. But we don't want them refereeing in the paint.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, now on her situation, she got to go, right? Because she stopped and she's starting to back out. We don't want her to stop and go nowhere.
You can referee through the paint, which is good.
Yes.
You don't want to stop and hang
You
out.
always gotta be refereeing.
Bus stop.
No matter where you're going, you're still got to be refereeing. Yeah, for sure. That's a swing pass and a drive he holds up on, so that's what we want to see. Just swing pass, quick shot, or quick drive, you want to hold up. In transition from trail to lead, so coming up the floor from trail to lead, we want our officials to pick up the bigs at the elbow. And I'll make sure I post clips on a site that will, a video sharing site that we'll use throughout the year. But we've seen it in games, leads, go on, get into the lead, and they're like, well, no one's down here on the blocks yet, so I'll just wait till they get here. And meanwhile, the big is stopped at the free throw line, and his big that's going to come down, he wants to slow him up, shot, right? So we want to make sure that our lead in transition is refereeing the whole way, picking up the bigs the whole way down. So you can always recognize if they're doing that or not, if their head's turned. If they're turning to watch where they're running, and then they get down there, now they turn and set up, it's got to get addressed, guys, because they're going to miss something, right? They're going to miss a shot that no one else is going to see because they're all worried about where they're going to get to.
Even if it doesn't happen.
Even if it doesn't happen. If it's a habit,
Yep.
bring it up.
A lot of bad juju happens in that elbow.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we tell them, hey, rotate with pace when necessary. There's no magic, you know, you should run, you should walk. It should just be with pace. It should be with movement, purposeful movement, right? But sometimes you might swing the ball there, here comes the post, and the post is ready for it, and I can't just walk here because now he's already got the ball and I'm missing the move, right? I'm going to have to get over here and referee the play. So there's no magic. And don't run across the paint. Well, if they need to, they can, but we want to make sure it's for a purposeful reason. Okay. Most of our officials have this figured out. Some still don't. Our lead is responsible for the secondary defender on drives to the basket. Okay? So say there's a swing to this side of the floor, and I'll run this clip in a minute, and a drive to the basket, and there's a block charge play here. I think several years ago, used to say, well, it's on the C side, it's the C's play. No. It's the secondary defender, it's always going to be the lead's primary. Doesn't mean that they have to have the call, or they might have not have the best look, and they have to, if no one else in the crew can come up with it if they got it, but we want the lead to referee that play. Let me run this clip and see. I can't remember what this clip is. Okay, so this actually, I attached it to a different one. This is actually someone running or rotating as a lead during a shot. And it's putting everybody in a bad position. You'll see the C, the neutral here now starts backing up.
Bailing.
Instead of staying there and refereeing, just threw everybody off, right? The lead did. And now we have a play where we need people in position to referee. So back to responsibility for secondary defender. So again, swing pass, drive to the hole, I'm the lead. Here comes the secondary defender that's going to step over and help. Well, and they're going to ask, well, why? That's on the C side. And some of them might still ask you. Well, you know what? I see this play, the whole play. We talk about seeing the whole play. I see this play from the start, develop, and finish. I see the defender the whole time. The center probably has another defender.
Primary defender.
You're going to beat the defender. And an official will say, well, he beat my defender. Well, if you're going to give up on that defender doesn't always give up on that play. And who's going to get the guy when he comes from behind and tries to block the ball from behind if you're refereeing the secondary defender? So it's what's taught. We want to send a consistent message. If they get the call right, we're going to give them credit for the right call, right? But we want to have discussions if the center, it has a quick whistle on that type of play when it should be the leads. Or if they double whistle it, which is acceptable, that we want the lead to take that play because they're going to have the best look. They're going to see the whole play. So Again, I'll try to post some clips on our website, or our video sharing site. Center position. All right. Center, there's no magic spot on the floor, okay? We do use the free throw line as kind of a guide, but the way offenses run these days, there's always somebody right on that same place that you want, right? So you're a couple with 1 to 2 steps high, 1 to 2 steps low, whatever gives that person the best look, all right? Run this clip here. Okay. So this is actually a good example of kind of in transition. The center is now going to make a quick position adjust to get in front of this play. This isn't a play where there's no closely guarded situation here, right? So there's time for the center official to get here and get an open look. Right? Got a good look there. Shoulders are open. Stays connected, comes onto the floor to stay connected to the play. Position adjusts nicely, doesn't just get stuck on the sideline. And then, like what happens 100 times in a girls' game, you're gonna jump ball. We use the terminology 10 and 2, and actually 10, 2, and 1 sometimes, where we use as well, which is we want our center official always have, and in fact all the officials, always have all 10 players in your sight line, either your peripheral, your 2 partners, and 1, you can add 1 the clock. And that's typically if there's a clock above the backboard. Obviously, sometimes if there's a clock behind you, you're not going to be able to see it. But you want to have all the players and your partners in your view. Again, the center official. You see his shoulders are always open. And here's where you know a guy that's experienced versus not. He's actually just looking at the defender. You'll see guys that will turn and just referee that and just turn their back on the play. In fact, I got a clip that will show that. But see, he's got everybody in his view, right? Stays connected to the play, position adjust. So that's ideally how we want it. We don't want our center to back out of an open look. Stay. There's a drive to the basket. Even if the leads come over, we don't want them to start bailing out. Referee the play, then go to your position. Transition. We want them coming up the floor with the second defender in pressing situations. Let me just run this clip here. All right. So I'm going to back this up right to the beginning before we see the, okay. So center's already slow in transition. The center should be coming up with these defenders. And now he's stuck, there's 2 people watching this play. What happens typically, or not typically, but sometimes, we get this transition play, and here we go drive. We got a play where we got to have a whistle, and the lead, fails to blow the whistle. Should have been lead's call, but the center's nowhere to be able to help on that play. So that's just poor transition positioning by the center.
So the lead's not calling it because he's being patient because he thinks it's the C's call, they go to the C limit.
Right, and the lead would get downgraded in my book for an incorrect call. The C would get downgraded for incorrect positioning. That's a play. That's a play. We have that in our game, right? In your game, we're talking about it. We're done. Where's the clock? All right. Here, you remember that play, guys? If they don't remember that play, then
problem.
Yeah, they got a problem. Yeah.
Now, what are you gonna go, because that's where you're gonna get the lead saying, that's not my call. Ball's coming up the other side of the court, and I'm pretty much saying, a call has to be made.
Right. In a train wreck, yeah.
A call has to be made.
Look at that.
And it's actually inside the key, you're right.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right, he's right there.
Well, who was the lead be refereeing at this point?
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
There's no one else.
I didn't see it that well the first time.
Yeah.
Well, the C should have been way further
but
down.
the lead is right there.
Well, and the truth of it is, even if the C's here, that's still a lead because this 34, he's chasing him. Who's refereeing him,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's still the lead. Has nobody else to referee except for that defender, and that's why we always want the lead to have secondary defender primary. coverage. So anyways, there are a couple things on that play. Both two PNBOA evaluators, by the way. Well, or at least one was a former PNBOA evaluator. That was Kenny Mack, Medulla, remember Medulla?
Kenny Mack.
And Matt Mason.
Mr. 14% body fat.
Ace! Ace!
All right, yeah, so this is good help coverage by the center. This is what we're talking about. This is the center who's staying with the second line of defense. So when this play goes towards the sideline, he's in good position to pick this up, right? Right. So that's why we want to see in good position. Must help across the floor in transition. So there's those certain plays that are crazy where ball gets, I got the trail on the new trail, got the new lead that's already down to the baseline, and I'm the C in the middle on one sideline, and there's a big collision right across the floor. And where everybody's as far away as they can be. Center's responsibility is to referee across the floor. Has to be a call. We're expecting them to be refereeing that. Again, no magic spot for the trail.
So we're not using the 28-foot line as a reference anymore?
20. It's a reference.
Okay.
It's a good guide. But But that's where they can start. But then we want to position adjust just to maintain the right position. So this trail does some good and some not so good things. Gets on the floor a little bit, which is good. Stay connected to the play. He's got a good look. He's refereeing the defense. Now, oops, stopped a little too soon. Now we'll watch his shoulders here, right there. Okay. Now we're talking about 10 and 2, having everybody in position. He can only see those two guys. So we want his shoulders open and him backing out, refereeing that play. See, even right there.
That's cool.
See, and right now he's kind of he's looking right through him, but he's still, if he's out here 2 steps, looking through, he's going to see the same thing, but he's also going to have everybody else in his peripheral.
Plus, if there's a steal, he's running with his back turned all the way down the floor now.
Who's that?
Plus, if there's a steal, he's running with his back turned.
Yeah.
He's already set himself up for failure.
Yeah. So he stays connected to the play of the trail, which is good. Okay, so here's an example of, okay, how far on the floor do they go? Most gyms have this volleyball line, and I think if the ball's on the outside of the volleyball line, between the volleyball line and the sideline, on the floor, it's going to give them the best look. If it's inside the volleyball line, on the sideline, it's going to be the best look, typically.
Now, see, I would think you were going to say, don't get caught inside that far in case of a steal, because now they're going to come down the sideline on you, and you're not going to get to the sideline.
There's going to be times when that happens.
But you would prefer it that way, okay?
Well, hey, again, I mean, we want him in the best position to be able to referee every situation is different. I mean, we can put all the X's and O's on a board, but these players are moving, right?
Yep.
So whatever he's got to do to get the best look. So right now he's going to have to get over the sideline because he's got responsibility for the ball, and these two guys are in his way right now, right? So he sees that. I'm hoping he's making a quick adjustment here towards the sideline. The guy goes through, gives him some space. So. Okay, so this is where we talk about staying connected to the play. Let me back this up just a little bit. Stop it right here. He's got a good look. He's got the count going. Now, here's something for food for thought. The play goes to the right. What's his best option for position adjusting when the play goes to his right?
To move out of the floor to the left.
To the left. And I've been trying to use that a lot. Play goes to my right, I go 1 step to my left, and I always seem to find, maybe not 100% of the time, but 95% of the time, it was a good move for me. So he's got to stay connected to this play because he's just rotating, not going to see the whole play. So this is the center's play the whole way to the basket, and because he doesn't position adjust, we missed the bump here. Knocked him off balance. So, you know, we see that, you just mentioned, hey, use the position adjust there. When they're going from rotating from center to trail, again, we want them to have 10 and 2 position. Here's an example of a guy that does not. So he's a trail, and he gets this one going, turns his back up, everything else. And we'll have guys that do that, and he's literally almost looking the other way, right? That's a very bad habit, and hey, that's going to affect something. In my world, it's going to cost somebody on the positioning if that's a habit. If it's a one-time deal and they don't miss anything, okay. But if that's a habit, that's going to be noted in the core position when I'm evaluating somebody, because that's just not what we teach, and it's just poor positioning. Doesn't miss anything. There's nothing he misses, but the fact that he's got that habit is going to lead down the road. So we want to make sure we give him that information. He's already bailing. There was a drive. The guy might have got hit on the arm from behind on that play. If the trail stays connected, he probably sees it. It's a tough one for the lead. What we're training him now to do, and they're going from the trail, and they're rotating from trail to C, where are my eyes going to go? So if that's the baseline, and I'm the trail, and the ball's going away from me, and now the C's picked it up, all right, or the lead's rotated, and now I'm going to be the C, where are my eyes going to go? All right, we always say find the next competitive, but like a quarterback scanning the field, there should be a first read, a second read, now I'm going with whatever. Our first read should be the elbow, right? Free throw line, elbow, because that's where the high pick, or that's, high post is going to happen, or someone coming through the lane is going to get chucked. It's going to go there. If there's nothing there, then I'm going right to the low blocks. If I don't see anything there, now I'm trying to find everything else. So, that's just something you can use in the toolbox. If you see someone that tends to chase the ball as a trail, we saw that clip where it goes to the center, the center's picked it up, and the trail's still kind of on it. Say, hey, use this. As soon as your center picks it up, go to the elbow, go to the low block. You don't see anything there. Now you're looking for the next competitive matchup. Drives to the basket. We've already seen examples of a trail. As soon as they start driving, they start bailing out. We want them to stay connected to the play. It's no longer the leads. The lead's got the secondary defender. We talked about that. Anybody that comes up from behind to swat a ball is going to be the trails. And if they don't stay connected to the play, we still have a lot of officials that sit back in the easy chair and say, it's going to the lead. Oh, yep, there's some contact. Yeah, I guess the lead's passing on it, versus trail staying connected and trying to get the play, if it's his defender. Don't bail on shots. 2 and 2 coming up the floor. We say 2 and 2, 2 steps as a trail, 2 steps behind the ball handler, 2 steps either way. That's where we want our trail coming up. We got people that still walk on the floor ahead of the play. I think that's what I have on this clip. I'll show an example here and we'll move on. Oh yeah. All right, we'll watch the trail in transition here. Okay.
Looking back.
Yeah, walking backwards, looking back is not the example that we want to set. We really actually want him 2 behind him, 2 to the side, refereeing the defense. All right. So hey, run through the rest of these. Rules and mechanics obviously is important. If they're kicking a rule and they're kicking a rule, we're going to have to make sure we note it and address it in the locker room afterwards. If you're not sure on a rule, ask the question, ask the crew, and then if they're not sure, or if you're not sure that they're sure, you can call me and I'll get the answer. I don't know if I'll know the answer, but I'll get it.
Where do we sit on, because you and I and maybe some of us, we've officiated some games around here. What if we get into a situation of a rule getting kicked and people start looking at you, you know, help them out.
Oh, yeah, you know, there's nothing you can do, you're not the alternate official.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't heard it happening, but I'm thinking if someone's stuck and they're looking up to you for an answer, I don't know, there's nothing much you can really do
Some
there.
protest report.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm not even talking about the officials, I'm talking about fans.
Oh, fans,
Or administrators or somebody like that.
Yeah, and they see you rating the referees, and they're gonna tell you their opinion plenty of times. Oh, yeah, you're rating the referees? Well, that guy sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even that, but you know that play is wrong. Will you go down there and fix?
All you can say is.
I know what I was
They're
saying. Hey, I can't help
It's
you.
going to be addressed after the game. I can't help you right now. It will be
can't help
addressed
you
with the
with
crew
that.
after the game.
Yeah, because you say something, and goes, even he said it's wrong.
Yeah, I can't help you.
Right.
God help me if a referee looks up there and goes, what do you think? It's like, really? Did you just call me out like that?
Hey, call selection, some more clips to run through. Oh yeah, this is one that I miss as an outside official. I'm one of the outside officials. Just bam, bam, yeah. That's a tough no call. That's an incorrect no call. We would want misses like that noted, right? I mean, they're going to happen. But we also want to know who's responsible for that play, because that's a play that's at the rim, above the rim, a men's game, right in front of the lead. The lead's not going to be able to see up there.
Call.
That's going to be a center and a trail call.
Right.
So this is make sure we're getting the right guys. We have some really good young officials, or not young, we got good young officials, we have good veteran officials that clearly know the difference between marginal and illegal contact. We still have some that struggle with it, and we're not holding back. If you know someone's putting whistles in the game that just is not making sense, is irritating the game, so this could be a foul. She's going to get tracked, and she's going to step through, and she's going to pass the ball to her teammate, and the girl's going to reach, but the ball's going to get there because there's a quick whistle. Now we just kind of irritated the game a little bit, right? Right. So the whistle's being blown as there's contact, and we're teaching a patient whistle and not having a whistle at the beginning of the play, because obviously as we watch that, sure. Now, can the official defend? Well, but yes, she did. But we really want you. It's on here. It's on here. See the whole play. I know it's on here somewhere. Observe, start, develop, finish. That's in there, right? So that's our, as observers, our answers, because those whistles that we just got to stay away from because the game doesn't need. There's certain plays that the crew has to get right. Watch the steal and a trip. The ball goes out of bounds, and we just go out of bounds to the other team. You don't need to see that again, do we? That's a tough miss, right? We got to have that. We got to have that. And we talk about good whistle tempo and cadence on the call. So, you know, we got a shot. We don't want the whistle to be, even when they're right, we want to be plays right, bottom line, right? But whistle versus whistle is what we're trying to get them to, because that's going to save them down the road, those officials that do like to call as soon as they see this. Well, if they have that habit, then as soon as you get ball on ball, they're already going to be blowing the whistle because they're so used to doing it. So we're not going to ding them if they get the call right, we're not going to ding them for that. If they have a bad habit of having a quick whistle tempo, we got to give them the information. Say, hey, you got a few calls, you're right. I don't think you're going to like the whistle tempo if you were to watch the play. See the whole play. That foul's not going to go away. We see this. That foul's not going to go away. Whistle, and then that's going to give them a good habit and get more plays right. All right. This is another play in which if you see the whole play, it's going to be a rebounding action. That's good no call. So 21, or girl in the white, just kind of jumped in, got the rebound, right? Red just kind of, she's kind of getting knocked off the ball. There's going to be a little contact. And he's blowing the whistle as she's about to shoot a lay-in. Now, of course, sometimes when the basketball is not that good, she doesn't make the shot anyway. But that's somebody with a quick whistle tempo, and that's the reason why they start this, and right? So you see that, we address it. Certain plays we want to make sure they're watching off ball. We want to make sure we reward our officials when they're catching off ball plays. You're going to see the lead's going to pick up a guy. This guy's going to throw the caboose out on a cutter. Or no, he's going to shoot a jam shot right here. Boom, knock him out, right? We want our officials to get the freedom of movement calls. We're still putting calls in games when verticality is clearly there. This would be an example of a play right here. In the post right here. Okay. Hey, we need to address that with our officials. If they're putting air in the whistle when they're punishing legal defenders. Obviously, we know what that does to the game. That frustrates the coaches, frustrates the players, it frustrates the observers watching it.
Was that last clip? Oh, was that a college game?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was Garfield for a minute, but when he used two hands,
I did too. But I went, we don't really stand up like that.
Hey, here's a good example of the lead official seeing the whole play. Jumps, vertical, block shot, here we go. No one's saying a word, right? I mean, that's what we want, all right? That's what we're shooting for. All right, we want crew integrity, right? We want consistency in calling fouls and violations. We don't even split hairs on violations, on travels, because it's hard to stay consistent on that. And if they are consistent in blowing every little funky move, head fake, and then the tape shows that it wasn't. We want consistency, but we don't want them making up putting a bad call in a game because there was a bad call on the other end, or a questionable call on the other end. Block charge plays, if there's a 50-50 block charge on one end, the same 50-50 block charge on the other end, having the same call is going to be helpful for the game. If there is a tough call on one end, tough charge call here, and now there's a no-brainer block call on the other end, we're not going charge just because you had a charge down here. The tape doesn't lie. And we're assuming that everything's on video and they're going to be able to see it, and we want them to be able to see the right call being made. We want double whistles when appropriate. This is going to be a triple whistle, and this is where this is a pretty good training tool, because it's a play that's going to come out here to the guard, and there's going to be a drive and a secondary defender that steps over, and there's going to be 3 whistles. Now let's talk about whose responsibility is this, primary responsibility on this play. Let's run it real quick. Going to drive to the right, secondary defender steps up. Okay. So let's agree for sure that it's not going to be this guy's. Because it starts in his area, right?
He's called.
And he should be refereeing this guy right here. That's his play. How do you referee this the whole time and you see what he does from here? He should not have that whistle. Now.
Then you also said lead had secondary.
I also said lead had secondary, and the lead is coming up. Now, he's a little wide. The center official, which is me, I probably am helping on this, but I'm actually going to that person too.
All right.
Because he's not making a play. If he was to kind of try to defend, then I'd have this guy. But since he doesn't, I'm going to this guy, right?
Okay.
But Eric, you're absolutely right. When the lead blows, 2, if it's a double whistle between us, I gotta let the lead have it. So that's our principle of a secondary defender. The tough part about it is he wasn't a secondary defender from this side. He didn't come from this side. He was already on that side.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a play where it could be either guy. It's definitely not going to be the trail.
Trail stretching.
Trail stretch, and he's trying to take it to the table too.
But see, and you're talking lead, the secondary, the C has the best view, in my opinion.
Yes.
He's got the best
Yeah.
view of this thing.
Now,
Yeah, because look at all the bodies that the lead's got to look
Yeah,
through.
that's what I'm saying, he's got
to
the
see
best,
it. I got to look
right
at
at it.
was it the case where the trail hadn't had anything and he needed to get one?
So that could be anything for a while. Let him take it to the table. Sure. Well, because we'll just assume that all this is everything's equal. There's haven't been any unbalance and people calling fouls. But you always have that in your pocket to say, hey, I know it could the lead could have taken it, but the center hadn't had anything for a while. Good job letting them go take it to the table. Especially if it's a young official, right? I mean, if it's a
Right.
young official working with a
Confidence
veteran,
building.
the veteran
Yeah.
might say, and you'll know when a veteran's saying, hey, take it. He's saying, hey,
Yeah.
let the young guy go, build up his confidence, it's an easy call.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah. Yep, no, you guys are right on. Good help calls on fouls and violations. Just a couple plays we really we want our crews to help out with. The no-brainer one is the out of bounds on the baseline. If I'm the lead and there's a shot, it's kicked over the rebound, and then there's a ball goes out of bounds. It's my line, right? We want the lead to be asking the center for help 100% of the time. If there's any doubt, unless they're 110% sure, they should be asking for help, because what's the C refereeing? That exact play, he's going to have the best look. The other one is when they're starting the shooting motion. And we're getting a lot of guys that like to, as the offense has gathered the ball and is starting their shooting motion, is getting hit, but because the ball's not out of it, they're going nah on the floor. We are encouraging our crews to get that play right when it's obvious. If it's 50-50, whatever the guy called, if he's waving it off, fine. If everybody in the gym knows he's shooting, we don't want the crew to come in after the game and say, oh, hey, Eric, observer, what'd you think when Mitch called that one on the floor and he was shooting? Well, yeah, he was shooting. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was shooting too. Well, why don't you go tell him?
Hello.
Right? Now, there's certain situations if the guy's emphatically waving it off, well, I'm not going to go in. He just, right? But if there's some questions and you see that it's spinning in his head, I'm not sure if he's shooting, go give him the information and let's get the play right. And my favorite is the official that wants to save the world. They don't want to miss a thing. And this is a very good official. What we got here on this play is going to be a block charge play that the lead's got in good position, the center's in good position, and the trail's going to make the call. I'll just run it. And the trail wishes they had it back. I know for sure because I've talked to her. So the girl kind of lays down. It wasn't a crash. The lead's in good position. The center's in good position. Well, the center's kind of getting beat, but
And it's on the other side of the court.
yeah, and that's a long way away.
Well, you got 3 really good officials in that game.
Right. That's true too. Now, and if you stop it right here, look, it looks like she's going to go through her, right?
Right.
But she actually doesn't. She actually kind of
Stops a little bit.
slides by her, and the girl kind of just anticipates the contact and is already laying down.
So does she call that because she thought, because Bonnie's at the floor, that she had to make something because Stacy and, is that Tanya? Whoever did the calling?
Yeah. And so, and that, that's not, sometimes, hey, 2 bodies at the floor, we're going to want to whistle, but 1 body hits the floor, we got to trust our crew to see that play. But that's just one example of sometimes you'll see officials that, don't trust, and I don't want you to miss that little slap on the hand that you're passing on because there's been no change of possession or the guy still got it, but no, I saw it, you got him on the arm. Don't need to save the world in some of these cases. There's certain plays where we need the crew to step in and save the world, right? But plays like that, we don't. Obviously, a crew that shows the ability to refocus during a tough stretch. you all you know when there's a good game manager, when a game's going sideways, and you may notice that there's a veteran, or it might be a non-veteran that just has that leadership skill, that's getting the crew together during timeouts, and then they come out of the timeout, whatever mess they had in the last few minutes, all of a sudden it's getting cleaned up. And, you know, you reinforce that as really good officiating to those crews if you see something like that, because a lot of times you'll see a game that gets away from a crew, they can never get it back, right? So we want to be able to recognize both the positive and the tough stuff. Obviously, any non-basketball play that's not seen by a crew, there's no excuse. Our guys need to really dead ball officiate, not leave players on the floor, not be in a hurry when there's two guys scrambling for the ball and you go jump ball, that all three guys are going up looking at the table, okay, whose ball is it? Now these guys are down here kicking each other, and they're going, whoa, what happened, right? So, yeah. Oh yeah. All right, we're down to a couple more clips here. Okay, so this is two referee play. It's going to be a screen up top, right? This is where the C's got a referee high and up this play. That's a play that the trail's not going to be able to see. And I just want to give myself some love. That's another great example. All right, game managing. We want our guys to effectively manage coaches in the coaching box, manage players, subs, and benches. Again, like I said before, we don't want to encourage our officials to make contact with any players or coaches. So we don't want them picking them up off the floor because his hand's sweaty and he slips and he falls, or you're going to help out a kid that your partner just called a foul on and he's pissed off. We just don't want them. We have a lot of guys that are comfortable and it works for them, but when I can go put my arm around one coach and have a conversation with them, and the other coach is seeing that, the other coach is going, oh, what's going on over there, right? So there's just nothing good that comes out of our officials making contact with coaches or players. Obviously we can recognize who handles the tough situations. Shows decisiveness, confident and effective communication and listening. Clock management. Obviously, we have a shot clock now in high school, so they gotta be more aware on the clocks, which we do as evaluators also have to be aware of the clocks, because the tables in some leagues aren't very good. Hey, listen, respond, leave. When we're talking about dealing with coaches, we want them to be able to talk to coaches if the coaches have questions. We don't want it to be a running dialogue the whole game. And if there is something, the coach is asking something, we're really encouraging him, hey, listen to what he has to say, give him a brief, quick answer, get away from him, right? Move on to the next play. Less is better when we're talking to coaches. We do want our officials to start being better at differentiating between emotional reaction and disrespectful behavior. Coach is going to react, the player's going to react. There's certain things that the players can't do. Okay, they can't rip their shirt out. In high school, it's automatic T, correct? Still, yeah, right? Yep. Coaches that come out of the box screaming is disrespectful behavior. A coach that reacts to a tough play, Jeff, no. We don't want our guys going, whoa, what was that? He's reacting to a play.
That's not coach.
Yeah. Right, yeah. And we will still have officials that, will give them the old stink eye or hey, that's enough. And the guy maybe hasn't said it, it's 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, he hasn't said anything the whole game, and now there's a tough play, and we gotta let, the emotions are part of the game, and we gotta understand that as officials.
I was talking to my player, Jeff, not you.
Yeah.
I heard last year there was a coach thrown out with 1 minute left in the game.
If it was disrespectful and it was...
But that's something you have to manage at the tip, not at the end of the game.
No.
I mean, that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
That wasn't for 31 minutes.
Right, yeah. If you're gonna let the guy run over you for that long, then you probably got another minute left in you. But there's certain times when we don't want our guys, I mean, if they've crossed the line, you obviously.
Right.
There's certain things that you can't let go.
Are they actually enforcing the scorekeeper wearing a striped shirt this year?
I don't think they can, some schools might not have it.
On that, they told us that if they don't have one, you still play the game as normal and you just let the signer know.
Let the signer know. Oh,
So we're not
gotcha.
dinging the official for it?
Gotcha.
No, it's up to each school to have the striped shirt.
How can the
At the
official
table.
get dinged?
Well, it's part of the clinic, it's part of the
Yeah.
rules now.
Yeah. No, it's up to each school to have the striped shirt. It has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, so we can't, yeah. So speaking of the clinic, have you seen it already?
Yeah, I've already done it.
So you have to, part of the requirement is you do have to take the clinic, it's online.
Okay.
So you're just gonna, I'll have, Paul Shoemaker is the chair for the men's side, so him or Lindsay, it'll probably be Shoemaker, will send you the link to the, to where you take the clinic. You just gotta,
Sounds good.
one of those things, you just have to let the computer run and check in every now and then, make sure, you know. And then you also have to take the rules test. You don't
What?
necessarily have to pass it, but you have
What?
to take it. Yep, that's part of the requirements, take the test, because it will give you the answers, or it will tell you which ones are wrong.
It's never
so-
done that.
So at least it's a good point of reference for where you're going, so. Yeah, any question? Appreciate you guys making the
that's
trip
good.
out. Glad to have you guys as evaluators. You're both new and experienced, and the membership is excited to see some new faces for sure. And I'm just glad you guys are around and able to do it. So, all right,
What do you want here?
wrapping up. Yeah, just go to page 6, I think it is. No, page 5. Page 5 is where you need to sign, and then go to page 9 is the contact information. I need that completed out here before you leave. So yeah, if you get those done and to me, we're good to go.